we've been working with MGM just on rights issues and saying, okay, this is how much we're going to have to pay for the rights to clips, and you know, eventually we wanted to get involved with them more, but out of nowhere almost. While I was in Austria, I get this text message, and it says, hey Michael, Jim Packer, Press, P-R-E-S of MGM Worldwide Distribution. And I thought it was press because they were going to try to come to this event, and so I called Lindsay, my wife, who handles all the PR, and I said, hey, you need to call this person back at MGM. She calls me back an hour later, and she's just blown away. She's like, Mike, that was the president of MGM Worldwide Distribution. And he went on to explain how excited he was behind what we were doing, and was just like, oh, he's in Austria with an orchestra, is he filming it? He has to be filming this? And of course, Lindsay was like, well, he's been spending the last 2 years of his life filming everything related to this. And so, and he got it. He got the spirit of it, the energy of it. So it looks, it doesn't mean anything yet, but it's encouraging that, a big studio like that kind of sees the spirit of this, and that there's some doors open.
When you went into starting a documentary, did you have kind of an ending that you wanted in mind, or were you just kind of gonna see, like, it's kind of hard to find an apex point for the story. So do you know where you want to see it go?
The hardest thing with the documentary is you always have kind of a vision of what you think is going to happen, but it's always changing, and there's always new things happening. I would have never known that we would have been in Austria with an orchestra. I would have never known we would be back here in Oregon again. And so there's always things that are changing, and you have angles and characters and story elements and all of these things that you kind of see converging around themes and story points. Ending, I always imagined, Claudio and Rosella crewing up in Italy and coming over to make a Troll 3. And all of these things, kind of happens. But there's so, with the documentary, so much of it is you're covering all this stuff that's happening before, and you've got, story and outline and all the things that you want to address and cover to make it feel complete. But a lot of the actual writing comes in post-production as the story is shaping and kind of taking form. So the ending, I'm sitting back and Katie and I talk all the time, and it's like, we have like 30 endings.
Well, and there's so many crazy characters in this. All the actors that are involved, from Margot Prey to
Claudio,
John Packard, the Goblin Brothers. There's a lot of characters in this, and we have a challenge. It's gonna be interesting.
We just learned that Claudio starts teaching film school in Italy next month. And it's like, man, I'm gonna have to go back to Italy again. And I think that's the hardest thing. Especially with a scripted project versus a documentary, is that a scripted project, it's on the page. You know what you need to get. Documentary is very, very evolutionary, and especially something like this, because it's not just one event. It's happening all over the place, and it was important to me that it feels as complete as it can. I didn't want to rush this thing. You can't create an experience like this, so it was important that we just took our time and had fun, and let this kind of story take us where it could. And we've ended up in Hungary, Budapest, all of these just crazy experiences that have been a lot of fun, and have amounted to hundreds of hours of footage.
You have like 250 hours of footage, someone said?
Yeah, I think you just stop counting after a couple hundred.
We've shot about 33 hours.
33 hours today, just for this
just
event.
Just for this event, this weekend. So
there's a question here, this young man.
Yeah. It just kind of piggybacking on that. Just wondering if you can give a ballpark. You kind of answered part of it, but amount of time and footage and money spent on this so far, and also a side question, kind of not related, but do you guys get any royalties from it?
Not a cent, and yeah, no money's from Troll 2. it's not a commercial thing, you know, and I think as soon as it starts swaying that way, you lose the heart and the spirit behind Troll 2. Nobody makes any money off Troll 2. All of the experiences, the screenings, everything is coming from our pockets. You know, George and I said, let's take this on, and we take each expense together, and we say, okay, how are we going to handle this? And, you know, 2 years ago, I would have never thought we would have gotten as far as we have. And it keeps working out. Overall, you know, we started just rough, you know, the very first screening that we actually documented was the New York City screening, when the idea was very much in its infancy, and that was 2 years ago this September. So it's spanned a lot of time, but it's not, you also have to understand that it's not 2 years of just, you know, straight this. It's working, I'm fortunate enough that I have a business that's related. It's in the creative industry where I do marketing and communications for businesses. George is a dentist, you know, drilling teeth and making people smile. And overall, you know, as far as to answer your question, the budget of the film, the entire budget of the film right now is under 400, between 375 and 400. And we're on track for that. So.
You want?